Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Spare Parts. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Stephen.
And
shocker.
No Taylor this week.
We're doing the NASCAR preview, and shockingly, she's gone.
Okay, she's not here for the NASCAR preview this week, but at the same time, I get it. It's Valentine's Day. She has someone who clearly cares for her.
Not us.
No, we definitely don't care for her. I'm not doing anything because me and Sarah don't believe in Valentine's Day, and you're sad and lonely. So the way
even if there was someone, I wouldn't, because it's just capitalist propaganda.
I would just say it's a waste of money.
Yeah.
Like, if you're...
What's the difference?
Fair enough. But if you're going to do Valentine's Day, don't do it the day of Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Do it the day before or the day after. Probably the day after is cheaper.
Yeah, go to Walmart, buy the discount candy.
Yes. 100%.
Simple as that.
It's not that I don't love you. It's I was waiting for the sale. Right?
Yeah.
Right? That's how you do it?
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Come on.
So yeah, no Taylor this week, unfortunately. She got a surprise dinner. Oh, fancy her.
Mm-hmm.
Must be nice.
Who could have seen this coming? Certainly not I.
But she didn't actually know this was happening, so realistically,
No.
Not going to dunk on her too much. But of course, it happens to be on our NASCAR season preview episode where we're actually going to talk only about NASCAR.
Yep. You know what? We not to get too far ahead, we did a little fun draft offline, so we can dunk on her choices.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We'll get to that later of our I guess our teams for this season we can go with, but yeah. Before we go into our NASCAR preview though, talk about maybe some news and stuff.
What news you want to talk about? What has happened in the world?
We had 3 car launches this week.
Woohoo!
And essentially 4, because Alpine got leaked, because they're idiots.
Yeah. Let's go testing. No one will ever see it.
No. Let's go testing. At the place, another team is having a car launch. Because they tested at Silverstone. Aston Martin's at Silverstone. I just don't realize why they're like, oh, no one will see the car. We got a great image, I think it was today, of a good high quality HD shot of the car versus...
They caught you in 4K, man.
No, really, Alpine got caught in 4K. It's bad. Way to go. Way to ruin that launch.
Yep.
McLaren had their launch again. We'll go over we'll go over all of the actual liveries in a future episode and kind of rank them and all that. One thing I will say, black seems to be a big theme this year.
Shocker.
Mm-hmm. So, what does that say about weight?
Cut weight.
Yeah.
Weight.
Team's really working on that. So,
yeah, we decided to use the natural color of the carbon fiber or something. I don't know.
Though all the cars are launching with black paint, they won't be running that. They'll be down to the carbon for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, so that happened. Anything else happen?
Ferraris was today. The one thing I will say about all the launches, some were a couple drawn out, but at least we didn't get any more of the Red Bull. We have to wait an hour to just see the same thing.
Yeah, if we're actually if we're ranking the launches of cars, Red Bull's currently been the worst.
AlphaTauri's was the best. 2 minutes, here's the car. Go.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yeah, we're getting in, we're getting out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so basically we only have Alpine left, which is already been kind of shown. And then Mercedes. And I think Mercedes is the interesting one because there's been rumors they're going to go back to the black car. because black.
Yeah. I don't know. They've been teasing the silver as well.
I wouldn't be opposed to like a black and silver kind of old McLaren, like late 90s McLaren, early 2000s. Something along those lines. That'd be nice.
I'd be okay with that.
But yeah, so that's all that in the F1 world. Indy Harrison doing some testing. I really don't care about talking about that.
What, the ones at Thermal that you can actually watch?
There was that one. There was also another one, I think, at, was it Laguna Seca? No. I don't know, actually. There was another test. Sebring. Yep. So yeah, there's testing. It doesn't mean anything. We know that, especially for IndyCar.
Yeah.
So yeah, jump, I guess, right into the NASCAR talk.
Let's do it.
Okay. 2023. What are you expecting out of NASCAR, the series, this year?
Well, we sort of touched, I think we mentioned this when it was announced. It was the road courses will no longer have the stage cautions. They will still award the points. So hopefully that means the road races will be a little more interesting. You're not stuck to the 20 laps of everyone on the same strategy, 20 laps of everyone on the same strategy, 30 laps of everyone on the same strategy until a late yellow comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So
I expect shorter races with that too, right? Like they're going to be shorter, which given some of the runtime of the races in the last few years, it's probably good to cut back on time actually.
Yep.
If you save half an hour here, half an hour there. So
it can't hurt, people complain about how long baseball is. So if you're trying to penetrate your more general audience, and try and draw more fans in, having a long run time when people are already complaining about long run times is not good. So yeah, cut it down. So hopefully that continues to the super speedways as well.
Yeah, we'll see where they go. It'll be a good, I guess, experiment for this year for NASCAR to go with. I would say one thing I'm hoping for this year is a little bit of a safer year with the new changes to the cars. However, given what we saw at the Clash, these cars are still really solid.
Yep.
There's not a whole lot of give.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it last week. Denny Hamlin got out of the car after taking a nice shot in the back, and he's like, yeah, that hurt my neck.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's not like the end of last season where we lost. Well, no, Kurt Busch was out in July or August?
We
something
lost
like that.
Quite a few guys for injuries.
We lost Bowman in the playoffs, which sucks. But I mean, hey, if they're trying to be as much like a ball and stick sport as possible, injuries in the playoff that completely decimate a team, they're following it to.
But if you're hurt, you should not compete.
Yes.
There is no pride in going out there and risking more injury. Just sit it out. It's fine. You can miss a race or two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully it's gonna be safer. Hopefully we won't see any bad accidents. Hope those changes to the rear area of the car makes it hit a little nicer. I'm curious to see how the actual on-track racing will go this year.
In what sense?
Second year, new cars. Like, are teams figuring out where to get the speed out of these cars? Are they going to now be doing some shenanigans in certain setups to figure out, okay, we can run better here in this window, basically? And will you see maybe this year a team figure it out and maybe run away with it, or the opposite? Are we going to see teams that maybe didn't figure it out last year start to figure it out, and now you're going to have actually a closer field? So, like, it's kind of a cop-out saying this, but it could go either way. You could have a more strung-out field this year, or you could have a tighter field. My money would be more on the strung-out field, or maybe a few guys are dominating this year and not so much the 13 winners we had last year.
13.
How many was it?
More than that. Remember, we filled every single playoff spot.
Oh, right. It was more than.
I was gonna say That's gonna be the sad part about this year's the come down from 17 winners that we had.
Okay.
Yeah, we had. It was here. Hang on, I'm pulling up the wins right now.
Okay, I'll let you do that.
We had.
Because like,
anyways, keep going.
no, I was gonna say like, because yeah, there was a lot of winners last year. Wow, there was. Wow, I'm just looking at the thing now. 18, 19 winners.
We had 19 winners.
Yeah, yeah. There's no way. I'm gonna bet we don't even hit 10. I'd say we go 9 winners. That's my bet on this year. Just based on, I'm gonna guess some teams figure it out and some drivers figure it out, and they can more or less dominate every weekend. Because you always see this with new generations of cars and stuff. Every time, in all series, if a new car comes in, first year doesn't go well. Second or first year, everyone's kind of figuring out. Second, third year, someone maybe takes a jump to be like, okay, we're doing this now. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, it's going to be sad to have that come down, but so our top winner last year was Chase Elliott with 5, so it also wouldn't suck to see someone, run away a little bit off the start or at some point early on in the season.
Yeah, that's fair. We do have a couple changes, I guess, this year in terms of driver lineups and teams. You have Kyle Busch leaving Joe Gibbs, going to Richard Childress. You have Tyler Reddick jumping from that ride, going to 2311. Ty Gibbs filling in on the 54.
Yep.
So a lot of Toyota movement there, which kind of makes sense, to be honest. What else do we have for new drivers this year? Is that
Noah Gragson at Legacy.
Oh, okay. Yep. Legacy being the new.
Legacy being Legacy.
Well, it's the old Petty that's now Legacy, because a new conglomerate of owners, including, what was it? Jimmy Johnson bought into that team, so that should be interesting.
Yep.
So yeah. Of any of the people either coming into the series or jumping teams, which one are you most interested in watching? In terms of their performance, like, do you think they'll do well? Do you think they'll do bad? What do you think?
Definitely Kyle Busch, with how bad last year went. He's going to have a huge chip on his shoulder. 1, for performance. 2, he's going to do what any athlete that feels spite does and try and show up his former team and I guess in the sense of racing, his former sponsors as well, and just basically say, you made the wrong choice by letting me go.
That's fair.
So
there's 2 I want to pick for guys I want to watch, but I think Ty Gibbs is an interesting one.
Well, because he pissed off everybody at the end of last year. So,
and what happened also to him at the end of last year?
It started. Well, no, he didn't get into a fight last year.
His dad.
But his dad. Yeah.
Yeah, his dad died. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, right. Tough. That was on the same weekend he won.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. I think Ty Gibbs making that step to Cup in a team like Joe Gibbs. Is he a guy who's going to actually be pushing a Truex out, pushing a Hamlin out, basically saying, okay, it's like the Malcolm in the Middle meme, the time is now, old man, or whatever?
Yep.
Yeah. So will he do that, or will he struggle? And given some of his personal issues in the last year, is that going to also affect your psyche? Like, there's a lot to watch there, and it could be a good bounce back story, or it could just be rookie issues,
Yep.
Yeah. Lot there to kind of think about. And I'm curious to see how he does.
For sure. Over under on him getting in a fight, though.
Over under what? You can't say over under to a yes no question.
Well, yeah. Over under 0.5 fights. Basically, does he get in a fight or not?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're a rookie. You don't own. You had no respect.
Which is probably why he'd go after people.
Possibly, but I don't know.
No, we'll see what happens. Anywho,
how do you want to do this? Do you want to go team by team? What do you want to do here? Just pick guys you want to talk about at random? What are you thinking?
We can go team by team. That
Okay.
works.
You
I
can,
like this.
You can
And
see how much we've really kind of planned this. Ugh.
yeah, this is what happens when Taylor doesn't join.
I know, right?
We go off the rails.
Yeah, she kind of is good at planning the episodes. Anyway, do you want to start with the
Pick a man. I was gonna say pick a manufacturer. We'll start. We'll go
Ford.
through by manufacturer.
They won the championship.
Ford. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, and then you know what? Let's start.
Penske?
Almost said Stuart Haas. Yeah, I almost said Stuart Haas.
Yeah,
but,
start with Penske.
yeah. I don't think Ryan Blaney can have as bad a year as he did last year.
100% no. I think Penske will be a good team this year. You have Logano coming off a championship. He won't win it again just because the statistical chance of you winning two championships in a row in NASCAR is ridiculous, right? Like
That's but that's also not to. It's also not to say that he'll just magically fall off a cliff either.
No,
though, right?
he'll
Like,
make the playoffs.
He'll still
He'll get a win.
He'll be there.
Yeah.
He'll be there.
Blaney
But yes, it is tough.
will not have Blaney had the most consistent season last year. He just didn't get a win.
Yep.
So on that, it's like, well,
Barely.
yeah, and he still made the playoffs.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah.
All because see, this is why 19 winners sounded wrong. I think that included the duels.
I thought
Because
who won in the playoffs? Who got their first win? They weren't a playoff. Remember, someone won the playoffs.
No, that's not.
Wasn't it Buescher? Chris Buescher?
Oh, maybe yeah.
I think it was Chris Buescher. Yeah, he won the playoffs.
Yeah.
He had no business winning.
Yep, that's right. Anywho, yeah, like you said, Blaney.
Yeah.
He'll be due for a win this year.
100%. He'll get Blaney will get at least 3 wins this year. Lock it in.
Okay.
Say that prediction. Austin Cindric, you're no longer a rookie. You've gone through it once. Step up. This is your year to basically solidify yourself that I should be here. It's not just because my dad's the future owner of Penske or whatever. But,
Yep.
Yeah.
And he had flashes last year. He got a win. So he's the young guy on this team. So he should have a good.
It is a very
it's a
very good team balance of Logano vet, Blaney prime, Cindric young gun. Like it's a nice balance. I feel like you want on your team.
Yes, exactly.
Next big team, Stuart Haas.
Yep, the old man team.
Kevin Harvick retire. Like he's going to, but he should have already retired. Erica Almirola, go retire.
Two guys doing a last hurrah, basically. I mean,
honestly,
Almirola, we thought was that was last year, but then he said, I like money.
Yeah, I can do some more.
Yeah.
Chase Briscoe and Ryan Preece are kind of your guys who are really going to carry that team.
It's gonna be Briscoe. Let's be honest. He finished 9th last year.
Yeah. I think Briscoe's actually very underrated as a driver.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. He's again. He finished 9th last year, and I think looking at the odds, he was outside the top 12 for the championship. Not that he would necessarily win, but for a guy who finished in the top 10, should probably have a little more respect on his name. He's not. I don't think he's particularly strong in any area. Yeah. On any sort of layout, but he's not weak in any area. He can be there on your road courses. He knows how to race the super speedways. I think he's going to lead the Stuart Haas team this year. That's not really much of a hot given. Yeah, I was going to say that's not really a hot take, barring Kevin Harvick just saying, I'm going to wind back the clock after not winning last year.
Yeah, it's asking a lot, I feel like. He did win last year, didn't he?
Yes. Or did he? Yes, he did get a win last year.
Still.
And 2 wins last year. Oh, Jesus.
They were late in the season, I'm pretty sure, though. Because because I think he won one to get into the playoffs.
And I think, know what I think it was? He had gone a calendar year without a win.
Okay. That's fair.
That's what I was
because he had such a great season, the 2021 season.
Yes. That's where he had, 8 8 wins or something like that. It was something dumb.
He had a good season and should have won, but got
playoffs
boned in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And Ryan Preece, he's a good seat filler there. I honestly don't have much of an opinion on Ryan Preece.
No, and that's fair. I'd say. Where did he finish last year?
I would say he's young, but he's not. He's just kind of there. So, good luck, Chase Briscoe. And obviously, we're not going to go through every team for every manufacturer. Just kind of, go for the big ones and stuff.
Yep.
But I feel one that has to be mentioned is RFK Racing.
That's where I was going to go.
Okay, perfect. We're on the same page there.
Because
they sucked last year.
Yeah. But towards the end of the year, they were getting
better.
So do they figure it out? Or do they need a couple more weeks to figure it out?
So again, this is that whole thing. Are these teams that didn't figure it out last year going to take a step up and be more competitive? And are we going to look at more guys possibly winning this year? Or maybe not. I want to say I expect RFK to be better this year. Do I think they're going to win a race? No, I don't. Maybe a couple top fives, maybe be there, at least challenge at some point. Yeah, I expect them to do that. But I don't think they're... After last year, man, they were terrible. Yep. They really were.
Yep. Well, and let's not forget because I was just looking up the exact results from earlier in Keselowski's career. So when he first joined Penske, he was 25th. Penske is not the team that wasn't the team that it currently is.
Yeah, they were growing then.
He helped it in 2 seasons. He went from 25th to 5th to 1st. So he can turn it around quick. It's just, can he do it with this group? That's gonna be a bit of a stretch. I don't know if he can do it in 2 years, but I don't he finished 24th last year. Let's see if he can make the same sort of jump.
Fucking Justin Haley had more points than him last year.
Yeah, it was rough.
Justin Haley's one of those breakout guys. He could definitely, and we'll get to that later. Is anything else Ford you want to talk about?
No, Busher, and there ain't really much.
Front row, you got McDowell, Gilliland, same kind of old guys there. Rick Ware, we will expect to see getting lapped, or there's not a whole lot there.
No.
Toyota,
and then I was gonna say, and then at this point we may as well round it out with Wood Brothers, Harrison Burton, second year.
I expect nothing.
Just try and grow from where did he finish last year? Because he had some good runs too, but it's not anything.
Incredible dark horse 500 winner.
You could. He was 27th last year, so, but he also, that includes a podium in there. At the Brickyard, so
yeah. Again, incredible dark horse Daytona winner Harrison Burton, just because Wood Brothers.
Sure.
Though he's never finished well at any super speedway, so I actually wouldn't bet on that.
No.
Yeah. Was it Talladega 36, Daytona 500 39. Talladega 34th. Daytona 19th. Hey. So yeah.
Okay. You want to do Toyota or?
I want to do Toyota because there's a lot to talk about there. Because you got it's simple. It's 2 teams. 23-11 will be fine. I think they looked strong in the clash. I think they have a very good driver lineup.
Yep.
You have Bubba Wallace, who I guess is your commercial face now. He's talented, popular, and he's not a team leader.
And they just partnered with, I think they announced today, they partnered with Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
He's the face in there.
No, really. He is the marketing face. He is known, all the 2020 stuff of that season got him popular. Yep. Unfortunate for the things that happened, and fortunate that was nothing. But yeah, also worked for him, worked for that team. That team's able to bring in Tyler Reddick. I'm sure Denny Hamlin's happy about that.
Oh yeah, you can't be upset with how
No.
old is he now? Well, he's 27, so relatively still young.
But kind of in your prime, really getting there. I think Reddick can be a team leader, and if that team pops off with Reddick there, maybe that's a team to look out for.
Yeah, and he's in the top 15 the last 2 years. He had 3 wins last year. What the hell?
Yeah, I know. He had a great season.
Yeah.
He was there all the way.
So, there's nothing really to go against 23-11 right now. Is either one of them challenging for a championship? Probably not. But there'll also be a good support system for maybe some guys on the other Toyota team that could be challenging. I think that's namely Denny Hamlin or Christopher Bell.
Yeah, those are the 2 guys who I expect on that team to be in the championship hunt.
Yep.
Hamlin, just because it's Hamlin. He doesn't miss. He's been consistent forever.
Yep. And he'll, at the very least, he will be there. He's like one of those, I don't want to say dynasty teams in stick and ball sports, but he's one of those teams that can,
consistent,
no matter what. Yeah, just very consistent, always there. Can't count him out at any point.
He's like the Boston Celtics of NASCAR. Obviously not having the dominant year they're having this year, but Boston's always good.
Where are the Boston Celtics? Are they actually doing that well? I don't follow basketball as much, so 41-16. Yes, they are. They're doing very good.
Yeah. Obviously,
I mean, you could say this. I was gonna say, you know what? No, he's just the Boston.
Yeah. Boston always is winning.
Because I thought you were talking about the Bruins because they've been going off this year.
You had the Patriots forever. Yeah, you know what? Boston always has sports. You know what? Fuck Boston.
And exactly, I was gonna say it sucks as Toronto and Detroit fans.
Yes, but yeah, Denny Hamlin is the Boston of motorsports.
Yeah, so
he's just always there.
Yep. So, and Chris Bell, the younger end of the paddock, he showed us what he could do in the playoffs last year.
Yes, with
clutching out
win every time.
2 wins.
Yeah.
Yep, clutching out 2 wins. Didn't end up clutching out the one he needed to, but gave himself a chance with 2 very good wins.
Yeah, he's a guy who I would expect to be there at the end this year.
Yeah,
mostly because he showed he can.
Sure. Yep.
And if that team can put those performances together when it matters, maybe you can carry that over to the whole season. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was going to say his 2 wins were on the Roval, so road course, and at Martinsville on a short course.
Everything for road course, though, you throw out because it's all changing now.
That is true. Yes. But so as much as it is changing, the same names will always pop up or not the same names will always pop up, but there are certain guys who are more inclined to the road courses, and I think there's really 3 or 4 guys maybe. Chris Bell is one of them. We already talked about Chase Briscoe as well. He likes to be up there. Blaney's usually up there these days. And then the last guy, I guess, would be if we're done with Toyota, is we can shift to Chevy because one of the last guys is
we still got to talk about
Chase Elliott,
Truex, and Ty Gibbs because
again,
we're not giving Truex fucking respect. He won the damn Clash.
Yep.
Right. The guy is.
That is true.
What? Oh, he's over 40.
Yep.
And yet he's still doing fine. Again, not enough respect for Truex, I think.
Yeah. He had a very down year last year, finishing 17th after going. Oh Jesus! So starting in 2017, first, second, 7th, 17th.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll bounce back maybe, or he'll retire.
Those are 2 very different avenues
in the sense
to
of
go down,
if you don't bounce back and you know you don't have it anymore, you might just retire because why am I going to come out here and pedal around 18th, right?
Yep.
And Ty Gibbs we already talked about, but yeah, he should have a interesting year. I hope he does well.
Yeah.
For his sake.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now we can go.
Now you want to?
You can go.
Okay.
Now.
Okay. Because we'll start with Hendrick. Who do you like? Who do you like out of the four? Because again, these guys are if it's anything like 2021.
One of them is in the final four, at least.
Yes. And that's the scary part, is that you could pick anything between 1 and 4 of them, any combination, to be there at the end.
1 and 3.
I was gonna say more so your Larsons and Elliots, and maybe Byron sneaks in.
That's, I mean,
or
like, you're not,
Bowman sneaks
I don't
in.
think you're seeing Bowman there, but
But at the same time, if Alex Bowman is in your final four because he has a really good year and puts it together, especially after how last year ended with the concussion, are you necessarily like shocked?
True.
Like it's not like Eric Jones is coming out of nowhere and making the final four sort of thing, right? Like
That's
Bowman
fair.
has shown he can win races.
That's fair.
But yeah, this should be one of the top teams, if not the top team of the year. They've been up there the last couple of years, partially because they have a great car, partially because their drivers are extremely talented and all in their prime.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I got nothing to add there. They're all great.
Yeah.
They're all hitting their stride. Any one of those four can win on a weekend or back into a win.
Yep.
I love that line.
Oh, that'll be even more interesting with Kyle Busch coming over to the Chevy side.
Ew.
Does he just shove a certain someone else out of the way?
100%.
Or does he help them?
He doesn't give a shit. He's out there to win. Which was a good place to segue into Richard Childress.
Let's go to. I was gonna say.
Why not Richard Childress?
Exactly.
Austin Dillon.
Exactly.
Kyle Busch. This team I think should be good. It showed it was really good last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Austin Dillon sort of just snuck into the playoffs with the one win.
Yeah.
I think he was bottom 2 of the points of guys who made it, but he also had some bad luck last year. Like there's a lot of times he could have finished top 10 of a race and something happened.
Well, that was RCR for a lot of it. Like if you remember for the first half of the year, what was it? Tyler Reddick. I don't know why I blanked on that. Tyler Reddick didn't win forever, and that was the running joke. Because every week I would bet on like Reddick. He came second again. He came second again.
Damn it!
Like he couldn't get that win.
He was leading and got wrecked. Shit.
Yeah. So I feel like Richard Childress had bad luck, and it kind of started turning around the second half. So we'll see if it's going forward this year. Will they continue to have that bad luck, or maybe they can just get lucky and just be competitive?
Yep. Yeah. And I think they'll cash in some of the good luck that they're owed and have a good showing this year.
Same with Kyle Busch. Look at his bad luck last year.
Yeah.
He had a terrible year last year, not like him at all. So maybe that gets turned around.
Yep. Well, and Kyle Busch again, so we already touched on it earlier. He's gonna go out with something to prove.
Yeah.
This season, and I think in a lot of those cases, he's proven to be one of the most dangerous drivers when he's in that mode. Like you think of.
Where did he finish the Clash? Sorry, because he was third at the Clash.
Yeah, but
who was second at the Clash?
Austin Dillon.
Yeah.
So, like I think back to what was it 2015 where he broke his leg.
Yes. Yeah.
And then just said, "Fuck it!" after he came back and won 4 straight races or something like that. It was something dumb.
The championship.
And the championship.
Yeah.
No, but I'm thinking like comes back after missing time with a broken leg and just says, "I'm gonna just win because everyone thinks I'm out."
That's fair.
So, Kyle Busch is definitely this entire team is one you want to keep an eye on.
Yeah. Hilariously enough, Alex Bowman finished behind Kyle Busch at the Clash. Yeah.
Well, they better get used to seeing each other a lot.
Exactly. Though the Clash again, taking nothing from it, but you can kind of take some stuff from it, right?
I mean, same thing with him and Truex. It's like they had down years last year. They're off to a good start at the very least. Because I'm like, what's the conversation like today if they finish, I don't know, second last and last? Well, I guess they are over the hill.
Yeah.
They're done. But
who won the Clash last year?
Who did win?
Ryan Blaney.
Right.
But he had a great season, just didn't get that win.
Yep.
He was top in points, just never had that win. So with that win, does it change? But you can see guys who might have a good season based on their Clash results, you know?
Yep.
So yeah. Is what it is.
Part of it is getting off on the right start, and that's, again, it doesn't hurt to get a good result under your belt early.
It's the same in every sport, right?
Yep. Well, and like your first actual races at Daytona, and as much as it is a crapshoot, and you can be first or last, and just sort of throw your hands up and be like, that's Daytona because it's a super speedway. It feels a lot better when it's, oh, I came first. Yeah, but it's Daytona. Oh well, I still came first.
Exactly.
Gotta
right?
win.
Like,
I feel a lot better about accidentally coming first than accidentally coming 18th.
Yeah, precisely.
So, anywho, any other teams you really want? Oh, Trackhouse.
Trackhouse, obviously.
Mr. Watermelon.
These guys can take a step.
Yep.
Chastain looked great last year for multiple times.
Yep.
And I think Daniel Suarez is finally being he's kind of like a Juan Pablo Montoya.
Yeah.
He's gotten a win there. He's competitive.
Actually, I probably should have thrown his name under guys who are pretty good on the road tracks.
Yep.
He can wheel it.
Yeah.
That every single time a road track came up, I would want to bet on him.
Oh, 100%.
Because he had some decent odds. But anyways, yeah, Trackhouse I think could be a good team this year as well.
That could be a dark horse team. The other one I would say another dark horse team in the Chevy would be Colleague Racing. As I mentioned, Justin Haley. You know, Justin Haley beat who did I say they beat last year?
Kyle Busch.
Truex in
Truex.
points.
I don't know.
No, was it Kyle Busch? Was it Truex? I think it was Truex. Anyway, my point being, sorry, no, it was Keselowski he beat.
There you go.
Yeah, it was Keselowski. Sorry, I pulled it up.
A lot of guys had a down year last year.
Justin Haley's 23.
Yeah.
That is young in NASCAR age.
Well, and he almost lucked out into a win late in the year last year, right? I can't remember which track it was. Oh, why can't I remember it?
Did he get taken out?
No, I'm trying to remember which track because I thought there was some possibility of rain. He stayed out on some old tires while other guys pit, and then they resumed, which sort of screwed him.
Oh,
I can't
okay.
remember. I can't remember. I think
Fair
he
enough.
just ended up falling back. But anywho, young guy who could also take a step up.
That team could surprise people with a couple results.
Yeah,
and you have A.J. Allmendinger, who again, on road courses, could easily get a win.
Yep.
Also,
so you had
to have A.J. Allmendinger, who is 41, mentoring a 23-year-old as your teammate. Not a bad guy to have.
Yep. Justin Haley had 1, 2, 3, 4 top 5 finishes last year, including 2 podiums at Darlington in Texas.
That's not bad.
So, no, for a 23-year-old, that's great.
22 back then, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what? Let's see what Colin can do.
No, he's 23, turning 24 now.
Okay, but still, he's young.
Yeah, that's the point.
If you're under 25 in NASCAR, you are young.
Yes. Exactly. Any other teams you really want to hit on here? Like,
not really. No.
Do we want to talk about Noah Gragson?
Not really.
With Legacy.
Um,
Ricky Stenhouse.
Noah Gregson's a rookie, and he might have a surprise result. But at the end of the day, it's a learning season for him. He's not going to come out there winning. He'll play his part, get good, come back when he's better. He's building with a team. You know that. So
Yep.
I don't expect anything from that team.
Yeah, and he's only 24 as well, so
Exactly.
25 this year. He's young. Okay. So, how do we want to do our predictions? Do we want to go through the draft?
Let's go through our draft. So I'll explain what we did. We decided to have a little bit more interest this year going forward for NASCAR. Mostly to drag Taylor into NASCAR because she is kicking and screaming her way into there. So we've decided to draft a little team each. 4 drivers each team. And I guess results based, whichever team does best is the winner. So
yeah, we're just doing it off of NASCAR scoring system. I'm not going to try and do this.
Come up with our own. We could do our own of like a point system being like a top 10 finishes and everything else doesn't matter. But anyway, we'll just do NASCAR.
We'll get close enough.
Yeah, we'll just do the NASCAR scoring system. We gave Steven the first pick, Taylor second.
Why
me third.
Why you did? I don't. We should have given Taylor the first pick just for shits and giggles.
She didn't do that bad, let's be honest.
No.
She would have picked the same thing you did. But yeah, so we did a snake draft. So first pick was Steven. And Steven, what'd you pick?
I took Chase Elliott. He's should be one of the favorites year in, year out. Another guy who's sort of deft in all areas. So has a good chance to win a lot of races. He was the leader in wins last... Or no, sorry. Or no, yeah, he was the leader in wins last year. So
don't need a full obvious. It's kind of obvious you pick Chase Elliott. He's one of the best fucking drivers. I don't need to have a detailed list of every reason.
Hey, you asked why I picked him.
know.
I gave you a 30-second synopsis of why I picked him. Just because they're all good reasons,
That's fair.
Doesn't make it bad. So, yeah, Chase Elliott.
Taylor
went with Ross Chastain, which was a interesting pick, but at the same time, not really.
Okay. So yeah, Taylor went Chastain. You went. I don't really have anything against that pick, to be honest.
No.
I've categorized each of our teams as 3 different things. I'll explain that afterwards. What they are.
Okay.
So for me, I went 3, and for 3, I took Larson.
Yeah.
And I also had 4, and I took Blaney. Makes sense.
So you took the big swinger and then the Mr. Consistent from last year. So
but Mr. Consistent that doesn't win apparently.
Yeah.
Taylor took Byron. That's again a good pick.
Yep. Well, I mean, okay, so we picked 12 drivers total. I don't think there's necessarily going to be any bad picks.
No, there isn't.
But yes, Byron is so we said with Hendrick, it could be any of those 3.
Realistically, there's 3 of them who are above one of the others, and that's kind of obvious.
But even the 4th guy has won a race before, so that sort of speaks to the standard that Hendrick's at. So
exactly. Steven, you went 6 and 7.
I took Hamlin. Again, should be there at the end, and another guy who's consistent. And just because he's the defending champ at 7, I feel like it would have been almost wrong to not take Logano.
That's fair.
If the only thing that might have changed is if I hadn't gotten Hamlin, if you or Taylor had taken him, then I might have gone with Taylor's pick, which was Chris Bell.
Yes, so Taylor took Chris Bell at 8. Again, good pick. Pretty good.
Showed us what he could do last year and still young and on the upswing.
So I had 9 and 10. For my 9th pick, I took Tyler Reddick.
He's cursed now. You've cursed him for the whole year.
It's okay. And
you can't stop betting on him mid-year.
Nope, not at all. And for 10, I took who replaced him. I took Kyle Busch. So that was my 4 drivers. Back to 11. Taylor went with Suarez.
Yep.
I don't hate that also.
No.
And you took for your last pick, Austin Dillon.
I took Austin Dillon. Yep. So what are your 3 categories?
So the 3 categories I've gone here is, so for your team is Mr. Consistent. Your drivers are almost always consistently putting up the same results. Taylor's team is clearly betting on these guys to go off.
Yeah.
Like these
Go
are
big or
guys
go
who
home.
exactly. This is the swing for the fences. These 4 guys have shown they're good. Have never put together a championship season. I think all could, and they're young enough that like it's kind of a betting game. Like one of them is going to go off.
Yeah.
My team's the checkers or wreckers kind of team. I feel like.
Yeah, with Reddick and Bush, yeah.
Reddick, Bush,
I mean,
Larson, yeah.
Blaney's
Blaney's
the
the
one.
consistent one, but he doesn't even get the checker. So,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it's kind of that. So I feel like there's a kind of a good. I'd say everyone has kind of a good personality tied with their team. Yours is very kind of calculated. Taylor's is very hopeful. Mine is chaos.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
exactly.
Yep. So I'm curious though when we were doing this, because we just sort of did this over the day after Taylor said she wasn't hopping on. We were gonna
do this live, yeah, but we couldn't.
But
so. And we
yeah,
can't do it next week after the Daytona 500 already starts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, what was your methodology while you were doing this? As the picks were coming up, did you have a methodology? I mean, like Larson, it's sort of like any draft. You probably have your top 3, and then after that, it's sort of as it falls.
I basically wrote my 12 drivers that I wanted. And then like guys who I wanted, who I think are going to have good years. And just ranked it by then and took the ones that came.
Okay. So no other factor whatsoever.
No. And like for your last pick, like when you took Austin Dillon, I had 3 other guys I would have taken instead.
Yeah. So we just did this quickly. So like with my picks, what sort of played into mine, I tried to also pick around different teams and have at least one of each manufacturer, which is, again, if I didn't get Hamlin, I would take Bell because I think he's the next best Toyota, or probably the next best Toyota. At the very least, I would swing more towards him than Truex on having a good season, but he would be my Toyota pick. Then Elliott, you got the Chevy. Logano, you got the Ford, and Austin Dillon, another Chevy, but outside of the Hendrick garage.
That's fair.
So
you mostly went top of each manufacturer, in your opinion, top available of that manufacturer, and then you took a wild card?
Yeah, because different manufacturers have proven to have different strengths and weaknesses a lot of the time. So that's sort of where I was going with it.
That's fair. I guess I kind of did that same, but I didn't, I guess, think of that.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair.
So, I mean, it's not hard. There's 3 manufacturers, so it's not hard to hit one of each.
Yeah, like my top was Elliott, Larson, Blaney was my top 3.
Yeah.
So.
You got 2 of your top 3.
What?
No, because I would have also had Larson up there, and honestly, my top 3 is would have probably been roughly the same.
I'll be honest, I would have had Bell over Hamlin, but that's just me.
Yeah, Hamlin is a little more consistent. Bell
is the recency bias. Bell is the end of last year bias.
I didn't want to buy in on that alone.
Yeah, that's fair.
What was his year like before? It wasn't. He had a good year. It wasn't. I wouldn't.
It wasn't exceptional.
Still.
Yeah.
His first 2 races were 34th and 36th.
Yeah.
So then he had 10, 26, 23, 3, 6, 27, 22, 4, 6, 5, 5, 9.
So you're kind of gonna bet on a young guy to figure it out as the season goes on, and that he did, and that will he continue that momentum going in. So, yeah.
Or bet on a veteran who knows what to do.
That's fair.
Can go full Kimi Räikkönen. Shut up! I know what I'm doing.
That's fair.
Also, my name's on the other team. That's under this manufacturer. So let me do what I do.
Is there anything else you want to talk about when it comes to NASCAR, or is that kind of it? Because I have one last discussion area, if you would like.
Is it Daytona?
No, it's like for the season as a whole. I would want your top 4 for playoffs. Your final 4.
Ooh, okay. See, part of me feels like I have to be tied to my picks. But the other, again, like we each had rankings and we had a very similar top three. So I'm gonna say Elliot.
That's fair.
Blaney.
Okay.
Should probably I'll put this in the doc after too. I don't know if Logano makes it back. I'll go. Yeah, Elliot, Blaney, Hamlin.
Ooh.
And I feel like it's almost got to be Larson.
That's fair. I will go Larson.
Yep.
I'll go Larson, Byron. I'd go Larson, Byron, Bell, Reddick.
Byron, Bell, Reddick. So you take Blaney and you don't even think he's going to be in the Final Four?
I mean,
That's what it is.
Couldn't win last year when he needed to. Don't know how much a year changes things.
Fair enough.
So
fair enough. Okay, that's that.
500.
We didn't get Taylor's. I was gonna say we didn't get Taylor's top four, but we did get her picks for Daytona this Sunday. She went with Byron and Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
That's an interesting pick because I think he still has to win his way in at the duels, right?
Yeah, he does.
So bold choice, but I mean, at the same time, I will not question Jimmy Johnson and his ability.
No, if he gets in, but at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah,
the Byron one's a good pick actually. That's a good pick, I think.
Yep. Again, it's Hendrick.
That's fair. Steven, who are your picks?
I have come to pick the same guy every year with this, mostly because he won me money the first year we did this when we started this back in 2020.
God, it's been so long.
Yep. So I will go with him as my first pick. Second, I will stay in the same garage area, and I will say Bubba.
Okay.
Bubba does well at the big tracks.
That's fair.
I feel like he'll at the very least be there. Will he necessarily make it? I don't know.
I have Tyler Reddick and Christopher Bell. Just
in
case. I also had one dark horse pick I bet on.
Who's that?
Dale Suarez. He's always around there.
Choice.
He's always around there, but he always gets taken out. Always gets taken out. So, but yeah, I would go Reddick and Bell. Those are my two for the weekend.
Yep. I was gonna say the only thing with Bell, he struggles a little bit at the big tracks. Well, then again, he came second at the second Daytona race.
It's impossible to predict.
Yeah, but I was gonna say two of his wins came on road tracks last year.
Yeah, I also bet the.
No, hang on. No, I'm an idiot. I'm looking at Tyler Reddick. Damn it.
Ooh, way to go.
That's him. But
also, I want to point out I did the typical bet of the Eric Almirola top 10.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad I haven't put my bets in because you just reminded me I need to put the little asterisk on the Bubba Wallace one.
What's the asterisk?
First, or you can put it on certain sites. You can put like a top 2 finish.
Oh, okay.
On your bet, so you double your money down. But if they hit 1 or 2, you get
less.
I can't remember what the odds payout is, but it's better than betting on the finish top 3 prop.
That's fair.
So, got to put Bubba down for that.
Okay, that's fair enough.
We'll do that after.
Okay, is that all also? Is there anything else?
I think that's it. I think that's it for this week.
Okay, so that is our Daytona, or I guess NASCAR season preview and Daytona 500 preview. Well, thank you very much for listening. We'll be back next week with all three of us this time. Thank you.
Maybe.
And, well, maybe, uh-oh. What do you want to say, huh? Got an announcement?
No.
Okay, well, enjoy the Daytona 500. Racing season is finally upon us. Thank you, and goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. Follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.